Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to more GB Discord Community Cup games. Here we are in the Bronze League, casting daehiise versus Red Cansky. And we do have a Berbers versus Magyars matchup. So this is what we were discussing in the pre-game when we were looking at the Civ draft. Berbers, in theory being a counter to Magyars in that they are an anti-cav and anti-cav archer sort of Civ. And that's exactly what Magyars want to do. But the Magyars are much, much better in the early stages of the game. Like, they actually have a reasonably useful eco bonus in Feudal Age. They have a powerful, military bonus in free forging and free iron casting. Let's get back to normal time. So, I would generally think that Magyars should have the advantage in the early game. And then, if daehiise able to hold out and have a reasonable castle age transition, then that's when Berbers start to become a lot better. The problem with that is that daehiese's map is pretty bad, I'll have to say. I mean, like, the wood lines aren't horrible. Like, they're in a nice little triangle around a base. But stones and golds outside where, like, the natural wall is on the left. Main gold, main stone, and the third gold as well, all out here far to the right. The main benefit is safe berries at the back. So, your Dark Age, early feudal scout macro, it should be perfectly fine, right? Safe wood, safe berries, and then worry about the other shit later. But it's the later part that is where I think problems are going to start to arise, and that's when Magyars should be the most threatening. I say this, and Cansky's map isn't amazingly better, but I do think it's a map that I would prefer to have. I think the walls are much more logical, much easier to get off in the long run. Like, obviously, like, walling to the edge of the map on both sides is a lot of effort, but if you do get those walls up, then you've got all this space at the back to reboom in. You got berries at the back, stone, which you don't really care about. Your main gold is, like, relatively safe, right? I would expect barracks and stable probably on this right-hand side. Get that wall off down to the bottom. If you scout this other wood line down here, that'd be amazing. And then you just get, like, a nice smooth wall to the edge of the map there. And then you just need to worry about this front side next to your main stone. We actually see 3 on wood in the early game. We're not going for a straight up baguette scouts, it looks like. But I think in a 1v1, your build orders are a lot less important than they are in team games. Right? You don't need to be up, right on 18 pop all the time. I think 1v1s you can comfortably do 19, probably even 20 most of the time, if you think that you're reasonably safe and you're not expecting man at arms from your opponent. I do say that, and it does look like daehiise is trying to go for the 18 pop though. So maybe she's going to be able to abuse a bit of a timing advantage here. Where she's probably going up at least 1 vil. Okay, yeah, we do see Loom now at 19 pop for Cansky, so it's going to be 1 vil slower. Sending bills out to wood straight away. Ooh, sending that weak bill back on the TC, very nice. That's where they belong. And both players just chilling on the Dark Age, pushing their deer. Go daehiise go. That's exactly what I'm thinking, but I can't say it because you're supposed to be vaguely impartial when you're casting. Ooh, a little bit of a poor micro on this wood line from daehiise though. Villagers walking all the way from one side to the other. Missing out on a little bit of wood income there, but not the biggest problem. Let me see the barracks over here. I guess, like, I understand the logic here. You want to protect your wood line, you want to protect your berries. And I guess walling across this front side is, like, kind of the same as walling across this side. But I would be trying to think a little bit more long term and trying to defend the gold, I think. But it's much for a muchness. I don't think it's that important. What is the scouting like? Okay, we didn't actually see this wood line down here, but we might notice it when we try to wall. We also didn't see this wood line up here, actually. That is quite a big deal. Oh, we've also got a second lumber camp. But we don't know that this is fully walled, but maybe we've noticed that with the way our scout moves. So we're going up 1 pop slower, but we're going up with a much stronger eco. All these villages... It'd be a little bit nice if 2 of them were over on this side, so there's a little bit less walking, a little bit less bumping. Oh, and I really don't like the position of daehiese's buildings either. Like, you kind of want to naturally wall across the top of this hill. Because if you build down here, then you're downhill to any attacks that come in. And like, there's nothing really to attack right here, but maybe something happens later in the game. Maybe there's a full siege workshop nearby, and then there's mega nails up on the hill. You know, it's the sort of thing that you kind of just worry about, and you want to try to avoid if possible. These stables. Oh, I very much don't like this stable position though. But it looks like we're maybe just gonna like circle wall, kind of, just to defend the berries in the wood line and just ignore the gold for the time being. Which I think I've already said that I'm not a huge fan of doing that right now. You see Daisy straight away coming forwards with her scouts. Cansky is just about to find Daisy's base, and Daisy, it looks like, is skipping horse collar. Interesting. So in theory, she's going to have, you know, 1 or 2 extra military units out in the field in the immediate future. But then she's going to start to have problems around the time when you want to click up Castle Age when all the farms start to expire. She's getting towards the walls on the front. We do have a spearman at home, getting a nice little poke off on the scout. Very nice. And it looks like we're going to start to wall across the other side as well. I do like this. And these 2 villages, all by their lonesome on the berries, could be a pretty easy pick-off if Daisy decides to go for it. Probably wants to go for the one on the top side first, just because it's further away from the TC and it's harder to run. I think the Daisy should be relatively safe for the time being. She has the 2 spearmen, and there we are. We are going for the Vil. 1 scout, though, on stand ground, not actually participating in the fight. Oh, are we going to get the Vil? We do get the Vil. And then we run into a TC and run into a spearman. Definitely not ideal, because on the other side, Cansky is coming in as well. And Kansky's losing his scouts to spearman as well. Oof. So Daisy's killed a Vil and lost 2 scouts. Cansky has not killed a Vil and has lost a scout and a half. Spears are OP, indeed. Cansky, though, also has a very, very large number of villagers on wood. Needs to start placing down some more farms. And we are also housed on 30 pop. A little bit unfortunate. But now both players are essentially stymied for the immediate future in this game. Because when you've only got 1 or 2 scouts, it's very, very difficult to actually deal any sort of significant damage. Like, if you're Hera, you know, you can get around doinking and trying to snipe farms and whatnot. But realistically, you want to have 3 or 4 scouts at a minimum before you can comfortably kill things. But Daisy is now fully walled. We've also got a very early blacksmith coming in for a 1v1. Run away from these units on the front. We see blacksmith as well from Cansky. I don't think that makes a ton of sense. Like, you've already got free forging. I don't think you really need armor right now. I think I would much rather sort out the eco a little bit more. Get a couple more farms down. Keep up constant scout production before you think about doing armor. And like the same sort of thing for Daisy. I guess she does have a reasonable number of scouts now. We do see a late horse collar coming in now. We're going to joink the spearman? No, we're just going to run past. Going towards the berries. Villager on the top. Oh, but Cansky notices. Pulls the Vil away. Heading back to the TC. I don't think Daisy should dive. Oh, don't go in here. This is not good. Gate. Quick gate. 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 Now the spearman is in. Gate. Or palisade wall. Oh. We have the perfect opportunity there to just trap these scouts inside. Daisy onto the TC once again. Over on this side, Cansky's just punching away at the house ever so slowly. And we've got a market. Oh, and we have actually scouted this woodline now. So there we are. Very, very nice little wall up there with the market and the house. He's coming forward once again with more scouts. Oh, and they're in! How did they get in? Oh, oh no, Daisy! Oh, I didn't even notice that. Oh, that is unfortunate. Cansky's just been punching away at this house and then she realized, hang on, I can just go inside. Oh, that's good fun. And it looks like Daisy has lost a couple more scouts. Or at least 1 more scout on the front. These spearmen are absolutely deadly. But Daisy does manage to keep her Vils alive. There are at least two very weak Vils and another one that's on half HP on that wood line. So potentially Cavarger raids could be a bit of a problem in Castle Age, just running in and sniping them over the walls. Oh, get that Jaguar involved. Daisy has done forging now. She wants to match the upgrades on Cansky. And Kansky's just like, screw it. You know what? I'm mostly walled at this point. I've got some spears to defend myself. I'm just going to go to Castle Age. And you know what? I don't hate this play. I do say Daisy's not that far away from going up herself. Do have Wheelbarrow coming in. I think once Wheelbarrow is finished, she probably should have the food eco to go up. So I do like that timing. I also don't mind this wall here. I don't think it really does anything as the problem. Because, like, Cav archers with 6 range still are able to hit these vills from outside these walls. But, like, I like the idea of it, at least. I don't know if the execution actually does anything, but I like the thought. Kansky's also just sold 100 stone to try to go up a little bit faster. Could have sold 100 food and 100 wood instead, saving that stone for a TC, but a little bit of a minor nitpick right there. Both players with almost identical idle time. We haven't overshot this wood line just yet. Oh. And another scout does go down. And we're, you know, a little behind, basically, in terms of going up to Castle Age, but we do have Wheelbarrow, which is pretty powerful. It does boost the eco pretty significantly, especially when we have this many farmers. Almost finished our berries as well. Lots of fills on berries for Mr. Cansky, though. I'm saying Mr. I don't actually know if it's a Mr. That is an assumption that I'm making. The second stable makes a lot of sense. Also got a second stable for Daisy. I don't particularly love that position. I would definitely delete 3 tiles of wall and build it as part of the wall so your units can get out. I guess maybe she's just going to delete these 3 that are touching it. That's probably the way to go. And we just see bloodlines coming in for both players. Gold mining as well. Doing just a standard... Oh, we've got forward spearmen. That's the way. If spearmen are preventing you from dealing damage, bring your own spears to help out. I don't particularly like diving under the TC once again, though. But it looks like we're going to get another Vil kill. Very, very nice. Although we did basically lose a scout in exchange for that. Well, they're saying that our spears get some damage in as well, so not too bad. We do have armor coming in right now. Castle Age. We haven't actually finished that second stable just yet. So we're only making a couple of nights at a time now. And Daisy's about to hit Castle Age herself. No wood for TC though, and basically no wood for eco upgrades either. And we're going straight for camels. What do I think about camels? We're also doing straight for iron casting. We want to match the Magyar upgrades, it seems. Another Vil kill though. Daisy on point now. 4-0 on the eco KD. Although we are finally going to lose those scouts at some spheres. I don't mind opening with, like, yeah, 2 or 4 camels like this, just because your opponent beat you to Castle Age. But I definitely think you want to be making knights in the long run. A, because, you know, knights are just better than camels and cheaper, but mostly because you've seen that your opponent has a lot of spearmen already, and you really don't want to try to fight spearmen with camels. It just never goes well at all. I like this TC position from Cansky though, securing the woodline and that extra gold. And we're going for the second gold mining upgrade before Bowsaw. I mean, we've only got 4 bills on gold, so I guess that does kind of make sense. But, oh, and here's what I'm saying. This is not a fight that you want to be taking. I mean, yes, you're still like a Castle Age unit versus a Feudal Age unit, but we've lost a whole camel, and like 3 of them are practically dead at this point. Which is definitely not ideal. Whereas if those were knights, you know, you have a lot more HP left because you just deal more damage and you've got more armor. So you're much, much stronger against those early... Oh, that's a sick little gate right there. And we see the pikeman upgrade coming in now. While Daisy goes for +2 armor. We do have a TC as well at home, though. But also, we don't have a second wood upgrade or second farm upgrade yet. Now we're trying to kill that gate. We're in. Oh no, the Vils are walled out on the wrong side. That's another 3 Vil kills. Unfortunate right there for Cansky. Oh! He survives! With the Jukes dodging away. But the army is now getting cleaned up. Knight and camel mix going on right there. And we've got a second barracks being dropped now from Cansky. And Kansky's also doing the second cav armor while not having any knights on the field. I don't think that's a very good upgrade. I think infantry armor would make a lot of sense. Maybe it's just a misclick. Oh, are we in, daehiise? Go. Maybe. Although I'm not even sure if you really want to be going in, because there's quite a number of pikemen being massed here. Oh, we can't actually get in. There we are. Never mind. We just keep punching the walls. I definitely think this is not the ideal way to fight pikemen, where they can just sort of punch you one at a time. You want to get them out in an open space and kill them with a lot of units at once. But now we are raiding the gold once again. Ooh, this is turning poorly for Cansky very, very quickly. Yes, most of this army is going to die, but the eco damage right now, daehiese's what, 15 mils ahead already. I wouldn't be surprised if she drops a third TC after these units get cleaned up, because she does have a lot of wood in the bank right now. It looks like we're going to go for, yeah, TC out there on the stone so we can get to Camel Archers eventually. I don't mind that at all. Oh, actually, we still won that fight against the pikemen. Just the power of knights. I definitely do think that this is, you know, a winning position for daehiise right now. As long as she doesn't lose all of her units on, you know, no attack stance or something stupid like that. Right, she's denying so many of the farms. She can go deny these wood lines as well, keeping them off gold. I mean, I guess Cansky does have this TC on gold over here. But we're about to be 3 TCs versus 2. A huge lead. We've got almost 20 eco kills already. We do have 20 eco kills now. Absolutely brutal right here. And it was all looking so even and so close. And then Cansky just didn't have enough fills on gold to keep up knight production early Castle Age. Takes like 1 or 2 poor engagements, falls behind the knight numbers, and then it just snowballs so hard from there. You can't defend versus Burbacab with 1 Rax Pikeman. I mean, we do have two barracks, but I do agree that you don't want the majority of your army to be pikemen. I think adding in a couple of pikemen to support your knights is like perfectly fine if you can afford it, but the majority of your army should be knights. And I was actually questioning the Civ pick from daehiise, but she's using Burbers really well. Like, her Feudal Age was nice and clean. There was a little bit of damage, made herself safe at home, and then it's just using the cheaper cav units that the Burbers get at Castle Age to just outproduce and outraid Cansky right now. We do see the second wood upgrade coming in finally. We do have a ton of gold in the bank right now. Probably need to get some villas off gold to get them back onto wood. So we can set up some more farms, or maybe even go for a 4th TC. Like, and the TC out here and this other gold might be reasonable, or this forward gold. Like, either of the two I think we'd be happy with. But maybe we're going to go forward siege instead. Interesting. I don't think diving under a TC like that is the play just yet. I don't think we have enough knights to comfortably kill a TC. I'd say we probably want to be in the region of 20 knights before we think about doing that, especially with this many pikemen roaming around. But I think daehiise should be trying to snipe these pikemen when she sees them in low numbers, right? We've got 12 knights. If we see 3 or 4 pikemen, we should kill them. Because we don't really want to be fighting, you know, 20 pikemen soon. Cansky does have some knights. Trying to go for a bit of a counterattack. I do like this. They should recognize that they are very far behind right now, and they need to do something to turn this game around. Yeah, this is exactly... Well, I mean... I was going to say that should be a good fight, but then daehiise runs away and takes a bunch of damage trying to retreat. Stone walls. We're going to open up the Scorpion. We are opening Scorpion. Knight Scorps. Let us go. Oh, and we're in again. The Knights are going to get cleaned up now. The Pikemen running under a TC. Oh, that's unfortunate. There's just too much going on right now. Alright, we've got units being attacked in 3 different positions. We've got a raid coming in as well. Not perfect. And we've got a forward market coming in from daehiise. Close to clicking up to Imperial Age, I must say. We don't have the second building yet, though. We've only got the siege shop. We probably want to see a monastery at some point. Pick up some relics. We have some bills going forwards. Oh boy. Who needs a second building when we can just drop a castle in their face? The problem is, it looks like we're going to try to build a castle with very, very little military support, which, you know, we are so far ahead it probably doesn't matter, but this is the sort of thing that can lose you a game, right? You go forward with 10 vills, you get a castle up to like 60% and then it's denied, and all the vills are dead. You know, all of a sudden you've lost a bunch of your eco lead. You've got a half-built castle that you don't really want to delete, but you also don't want to finish because, you know, it's in the enemy base and they've got army there. But I think if daehiise just goes up to Imperial Age and gets Cavalier, I think she probably is able to win this. I hope that she doesn't try to full switch into Camel Archers. Like, I don't like seeing fletching right now because I think it's quite a slow transition. And she's in the position where she can just win this game if she goes up to Imp and pushes. Wasting time switching to Camel Archers, I think, just gives Cansky opportunity for something to happen. Right? I don't know what it is that's going to overcome the 50 vil deficit, but giving the opportunity for something to happen might lead to a loss somehow. Whereas you've almost got a guaranteed win if you just keep shitting out knights and some scorpions like this. Mangonel is going off by itself though. Not ideal. Also, the knights are going forwards without the scorpion support. But I think that we probably see a GG when Imperial Age comes in, I would think. Rip the Mangonel. These are a lot of very, very weak pikemen. Like, the Scorpions should be able to clean up here. Or like, even just a couple of knights here. Like, they just start running in and one-tapping all the pikemen. Oh, look at that shot. We're now going for 4th TC out on the golds. And the castle does defend the other one. So we have secured most of the resources around the base, which is pretty good. We've got a ton of vills on stone still, so I wouldn't be surprised if we go for a second castle forward after we hit Imp. Getting ballistics for the Scorpions would probably be pretty useful right now. We do have quite a lot of wood in the bank. Although I do say that, and we kind of do need this food and gold to upgrade our knights. Where is our food? Why do we only have 30 farmers? We do need some more farmers. We've got a lot of vills queued up. We're doing a lot of upgrades right now. We desperately need to have like 600 food when we hit Imperial Age so we can get Cavalier and +4 armor. That should be our first priority. Anything else like this is just slowing down our Imperial Age. But again, like we're so far ahead that it doesn't really matter. But if this was a more even game, not being able to afford your upgrades could be a problem. We do see that forward castle though about to come in, and we just have the instant GG on Imperial Age. Makes sense. I think that was a pretty close and even game up until like even like here everything's pretty equal. Like we're a couple of vills behind, and that's mostly by having the late wheelbarrow, I think. I mean, we lost a couple of vills to the raids actually, so I guess it's mostly the raids. But then between that position and this position here, we've just not made enough army. Is the problem? Like, just say total army created. Huh. We've both actually made the same amount of army. Interesting. I don't know what I'm saying then. Everything that I thought was true about this game is just completely false. I guess like Cansky's mostly been making spearmen and then now pikemen, which is just inferior straight up. That's probably the problem. And just the eco difference is starting to become an issue. Oh, let's get out of this game so I can stop saying things that aren't necessarily true. So we do have the Berbers with the win over Maghouse, and they are already into the next game. We're going to Row Rage. Let's get that loaded up. And we do have a little bit of a spec delay. Just wait for that. And we're going to see Incas versus Georgians. What? Why would you play Incas on Row Rage, not Hindustanis? I don't like that in the slightest, I must say. I don't think that that is a sensible civ pick. Like, Georgians is like one of the best civs possible for Row Rage. And then we're going with our last pick to try to beat that? I don't like that. Not a fan. Oh, let us jump into the game. Go back to speed, please. Oh my lord, that is an instant barracks. What the fuck? Okay. Maybe I take it all back. We're cooking here. We're cooking. Cansky obviously has prepared something here. And I guess the early militia just allows you to completely shut down any dock play, right? You have militia out on the field to deny the fishing ships. I mean, okay. Man's got a plan. He just needs to send the militia forwards. I think going for 4 militia is cooking a little bit too hard, in my opinion. I think just like 2 to begin with would be plenty, and then sort of like see what the lay of the land is. daehiise, though, does have a very, very fast dock. So really the question is, like, are these militia going to do enough to minimize the impact, the eco lead that having a super early dock is going to do? daehiise scouts the militia now. Oh boy, panic. Panic stations. What are we going to do about this now? I guess we need to try to, yeah, wall in the wood line. Priority number 1. Keep our scout alive. Priority number 2. Taking a couple of hits there, not ideal. Lure them into the TC, that would be great. Oh, nice. Actually, nice. I should say, this is unfortunate. We don't want this. He wanted to go lure a boar. I guess in theory the militia and the eagle could just bash down a boar if they want to. And we just see 2 more militia coming forwards. We've got 6 militia out on the field. What the heck? We're even long distance in gold. We haven't built a single building other than a barracks and a house. And a second house. Oop. That could have been a little bit dicey there. We're trying to lame the deer, it seems. Are we going to sneak this boar? We are going to sneak the boar in. I think this strategy is absolutely amazing, but you need to be prioritizing harassing the ponds. Yeah, daehiise did get Loom really early. I think that was because she just didn't want to build that was going forward for the dock to get sniped by, random eagle. Which actually comes in handy, seeing as what's going on right now. I guess laming the houses is also, something to do. We have more militia coming forwards. Have we decided to go scout the pond? I hope so, because like the benefit of Georgians on this map is that you can build your docks so incredibly quickly. And daehiise is actually going to get a mega house here because these huts are very, very flimsy. Only with 500 HP. There's a couple more militia over there. We still haven't actually scouted the pond though. Are we going to come back and push the deer? You don't need to push deer. You just build a mill because like the deer are right there. Has he built a lumber camp? He has just built a lumber camp. And daehiise is now up to the feudal age, though. Like, she is going to have a little bit of a problem of long-term wood eco, but she can always just pull some of these villages and go build a mule cart on a different wood line. Like, just the extra eco from the fish. Like, we've pushed through an entire, piece of fish right now. So that's an extra 200 and something food that we've had for... it's not for free. Like, we've obviously paid for it. But we have had essentially 2 TCs for some part of Dark Age. It looks like we want to lame the deer again. And daehiise did manage to sneak in the second boar as well. Yeah, I think this strategy is, like, legit, but we've gone a little bit too hard. We've cooked too much, you know? Like, 2 or 3 militia, I think would have been brilliant. And then, like, we'd still be up to feudal age at a fairly comparable time. But right now, we're just too slow to feudal age, and we haven't actually dealt enough damage. Oh, and we've also lost a villager to a boar, I guess. That's unfortunate. I did not see that. Ah, I'm honestly kind of disappointed. Like, I don't mean that in a mean way, but this is the sort of strategy that could 100% cook and kill a player, right? If we'd only just denied the ponds, this would be so much more powerful. And we're finally scouting the ponds. We see that there is a dock. Are we going to send the militia there now? Because we should see this tower on the woodline. I guess forcing up a defensive tower like this is, you know, some reasonable damage. daehiise only with the one villa building in the stable, so the stable is quite slow. Not ideal. And back at home, Cansky is doing quite a bit of walling right now. Walling in the woodline and the gold together. I do quite like this little pocket. And it looks like the militia are maybe going to head towards the pond. They're thinking about it, at least. They're definitely running away from the tower, to begin with. We see a very early blacksmith from daehiise. I mean, I guess she's got a ton of food. She has 4 scouts in the queue, and she still has 200 food left over, so why not? We're now trying to just sneak out to the berries. I guess, yeah, I was going to say, Cansky could just try to kill the stable slowly. Ooh, losing that scout is not ideal. Oh, and it looks like we might... No, okay, we're paying attention. We have 2 scouts forward. daehiise going right under the TC. Just passing. No worries. No worries. Oh, the eagle is trying to punch the tower. I don't know if that's necessarily a good idea. Got to worry about demos if you go to the pond now? Yeah, that's true. Like, definitely the time to do that was Dark Age, when there's nothing that they can do about it, and when it's most impactful. Right? Because, like, at this stage, like, this is still a reasonable part of daisie's food eco, but she's still got cows under the TC, she's starting up farms, she's got her berries. She's not reliant on the pond eco anymore. So the militia don't really do enough. Ornlu, thank you for the raid. How's it going? How are the Warlords qualifiers? We are casting some of the GB Discord Community Cup. We're in the Bronze League right now, as we see by 1,300 and 1,400 players. And daehiise is up 1-0 in this series so far, having won on Arabia previously. And we saw a very, very interesting strategy here. We saw Cansky go for an instant barracks, just straight up, like, 1 house, 1 barracks, and start making militia, which I think is an incredible idea. And if your opponent... Oh boy, there goes the sound. And if you're not paying attention, like, or not prepared for this sort of a strategy, you can get absolutely cooked. But oh no, the spearman. daehiise, your scouts, please. Oh, that's not ideal. Just the problem was the militia didn't go and harass the ponds. Instead, we're just... I mean, I guess we're maybe going to kill the stable straight up with this many men-at-arms. daehiise is now adding up archery range, recognizes there's too much infantry on the field. We can't keep making scouts. The eco situation though for daehiise is looking pretty good. We can start making archers, we send some more villas to gold, and we just slowly prepare ourselves for the castle age. You know, we'll be able to click up in, 3 minutes or something. Maybe less if we decide to idle a little bit. The problem is the gold eco is not really there to keep up both archer production and saving for castle age. And our pond is actually almost running out of food. So maybe you want to think about a new dock over on the other side. I definitely think that 6 fish is probably a little bit too many for a rage pond. Oh, but the scouts are getting in. Oh, brutal. All the spearmen are not on this side of the map. It looks like they were over defending the woodline. daehiise gets 4 bill kills in an instant right there. Although saying that the man-at-arms are starting to come in, and daehiise is actually straight up to Castle Age. We've only made the 2 archers. And excellent reaction there, only losing a single villager, pulling away the villas just in time, and then now the archers should be able to force away these man-at-arms. Although we do have more spears and archers coming forwards from Cansky. Didn't even recognize that he was doing his own archer switch. But when another hill goes down. Losing all the spears into the TC though, not ideal. daehiise could bring her scouts back right now to clean up these archers. There are no spears left to defend them. Sending the archers just to poke away at the man-at-arms once again. Yeah, and here do come the scouts, but the problem is that now the man-at-arms are there to defend the archers. It's a lot harder to try to take a fight with the scouts. It looks like we're almost getting our little U walls up, securing most of our eco. We have bloodlines coming in as well. And checking on the fish situation. I guess that's still 700 food, but it is shorefish, so it is a little bit slower gathering. On the other side, Cansky is starting to get some walls up, going for a market as well. Recognizes they've got a ton of gold in the bank. They just want to buy their way up to castle, it seems. Another unit falling to the TC. Gamer TC. And now we're in Castle Age. We're going to make a couple of knights. We've actually only made the 2 archers and fletching. I think that's a bit of a interesting decision. We easily could have made, 6 or 7 archers, get crossbow, get bodkin, and actually have a little bit of a scary force, but the scouts are actually in the back of Cansky's base once again. Cansky has a bunch of spears, but they're not in the correct position right now. Oh, and now the archers are under the TC. And then these knights are going to clean this up pretty quickly. And Cansky is just so far away from Castle Age and not being walled. I think that we're going to see a GG pretty soon, I think. Like, if daehiise keeps these scouts to keep this bottom side open and the knights just stream straight over here, there's not a lot you can really do against full knight army. daehiise has 0 eco upgrades right now. Which is definitely not what you want to be seeing. And daehiise has actually made a couple more archers now. Probably recognizing that the only way that a Fuel Age player is going to deal with knights is just a big amount of spears. Oh, and this woodline's overchopped as well. That is also some unfortunate bumping there. Get out of my way! And then these 2 knights are going to come in. Oh, this is brutal. Looks like the spearmen might... No, actually, these scouts should actually be fine. Even versus 2 spears. Like, you got bloodlines, you got some of the upgrades. You can't fight that many spears, definitely not. Oh, but the woodline's all completely dead. We got archers on the gold as well. And I do think we should be seeing a GG momentarily. We did manage to re-wall, but there is still 1 knight on the inside. And that 1 knight is kind of killing everything right now. We've got 6 eco kills with this 1 knight alone. We're 15 mils ahead now. Oh boy, still game free. Indeed, indeed. We're going to go boating pretty soon. Archers in the middle of the map, but they're about to walk into the knights and die. And Cansky's being pushed off the gold as well. These knights are going to bash through this house pretty quickly, and then the gate shortly after that. And that is the GG. Oh, I think just... The Dark Age was so inventive. It just like a slight execution problem. Like, too many militia and not going to the ponds just almost made it a waste. When it could have been so beautiful. It could have been so beautiful. So, we do have a win for Georgians and a loss for Incas. And, like, once again, I do have to say, like, I think, like, the Inca pick, especially being the last pick, means that your opponent isn't going to expect something weird if you end up playing it, probably. Like, first being Incas would be okay, they have something cooking here. They've decided to pick Incas in favor of, any significantly better civ for this sort of a hybrid map. Whoop whoop voting, indeed. And they are straight up into the next game as well. Is there a delay? There is no spec delay. We're about to get straight into it. Oh, I say there's no delay. There's actually a 10-second delay, but essentially there's no delay. And we are going to be seeing the Vikings and the Saracens, as you would expect. So we do have daehiise in the bottom of the map here, playing in the yellow as the Vikings. And then Cansky as the Saracens. And really, for Zil, there's not a lot to talk about on the map. Because everything is basically underneath your TC. Right? Your berries are touching the TC. Your deer are, 6 or 7 tiles away. You've got a huge number of wood lines. There's not a lot to do in the other game. What is that wood line? I mean, Cansky does have this big fat boy over here. And also, actually, daehiise has a landlock, and Cansky doesn't. I don't know if having a landlock or not is... Oh. We're cooking again. We're going for an instant dock with... I guess we're going to put 2 vills on shorefish as well. Seeing as we've got 2 vills over here, maybe that's just a... not changing the TC. Gather point. I think that the landlock most of the time is useful, because, like, in daisy's situation, like, her army could be sitting out here and then her fish are all safe at the back. But not having a landlock means you can just sort of, like, run around in a full circle if you need to, if something goes wrong. Surely you don't get enough stragglers? That's what I was thinking. And the stragglers aren't even, like, especially close to the TC. Like, I was saying how close all the other resources are. Stragglers is, like, not one of them. And I would also say, like, generally, the reason why you do this sort of a dock first strategy is because there's not a lot of food and you need to get fish income because there's not enough food otherwise to get up to feudal age. But this is, like, the opposite problem this map has. This map has, honestly, too much food most of the time. And... it's a struggle not to have 300 food rotting by the time you click up to feudal age. Like, we still haven't made a fish yet, and daehiise is about to go build her own dock. Is building her own dock, sorry. Take that back. So daisy's probably going to build a fish at, approximately the same time as Cansky, while just having a proper wood eco. Like, I feel like Cansky probably has to go build a lumber camp. Yeah. And, like, why are we building... Like, this hasn't achieved anything. We don't need this extra shorefish income. And we've almost finished the shorefish as well. Like, these 2 vills are going to have to walk back to the TC soon. Like, that might be a problem of just, accidentally sending 2 vills. Oh, and then we're housed, and we have no wood to build a house. Oh, this is not ideal. Given that he banned islands, I think he might just not be comfortable in water. Yeah, that's a possibility. But, like, I said this at the start when I was looking at the drafts. If you don't like boating, I feel like you should be banning Brazil and leaving islands open. Because if they pick islands, you then have the ability to go landing, right? And just say, fuck it. I'm not playing water. I'm not getting into this, galley micro, who can macro up the castle age fastest sort of game. I'm just going to make it messy on land. Whereas Brazil really doesn't give you that opportunity because there's just so little space on the island. I mean, like, yes, in theory, daehiise could land over here. Like, from Cansky's perspective, he could land over here on the right. But, like, it's so easy to scout it as well with your scout because your docks are on one side, so you know there's nothing happening there. If your scout is just chilling on the other side, you know there's nothing going on there. And, like, so daehiise already has 3 fishing ships before Cansky finishes their first. plus the Phil's idle time and the early loom. This is just, yeah, a little bit too much cooking. I think if Cansky just did the exact same thing that daehiise does, you know, your quote-unquote standard Islands build order, he would be in a much better position right now. daehiise's now up to feudal age. How much food does Cansky have? Like another 130, another 150 food, so we're still really far away from going feudal ourselves. We've also got too many villages on wood at this point. I mean, actually, like, this is the correct number of villas you should have at this point, because you're clicking up to feudal age and you start to send more villas to wood. But definitely not ideal. And daehiise's just, like, completely on point. She's been practicing boating with Pete, it seems. Maybe. I don't actually know about that. But doing everything, like, exactly as they should be. 2 lumber camps, 7 villas on each. So villas long distance in gold for the time being. We'll probably build a mining camp. Probably after this dock, I would think. Maybe we could just keep long distancing it for, you know, some time. But eventually we do want to have a mining camp. Yeah, Hopsy, generally when you practice, you don't want to talk about your practice. Because then your opponents learn things. Like, assuming that it was a private practice, then no, we didn't. Yeah, that's better. We're all just mass hallucinating. They're straight up making some galleys, getting double axe. We do have the mining camp on gold. We'll be seeing a 3rd dock in just a moment as well. Everything going perfectly. And Cansky, though. This is, like, a really big thing that everyone needs to learn as they, like, start to play water maps, is you need to scout with one of your fish in, like, concentric circles every now and then so you can find more deep fish. Because otherwise, your fish are going to be shitty and they're going to go for the closest fish that they see. Which, in this case, you know, might have been this shorefish over here. So then you're traveling this huge distance going past deep fish to get crappy food income. So you just always gotta keep doing some... Oh, and it looks like we figured that out now. daehiise still actually hasn't... daehiise going for an early blacksmith instead of a 3rd dock. Interesting decision. I guess daehiise's probably thinking, okay, they're not up to feudal age yet. They're probably doing an FC, which it looks like they are, but they don't have a mill. Cansky. We need a mill so we can build a market. So in that case, getting the early fletching helps you snipe the fish a little bit quicker without over-investing in too many boats. Let's see, what are we going for? We're just going to make 2 fires. There's no panic to build a mill right now, so we're not trying to go FC. Oh no, there's the market. Sorry, not the market, there's the blacksmith. Ooh. So I guess we're going to figure out in 30 seconds or so that we don't have a mill. I do think daehiise needs to be proactively going forwards and trying to find fish, not just sitting on this dock. Like, your opponent is so slow to feudal age, you have, like, a prime opportunity right now to try to snipe fish. Instead of, you know, fucking around trying to kill a scout. Like, who cares about the scout? And why are we sitting here attacking a dock instead of trying to find fish? The dock doesn't do anything. And we actually have seen the 3rd dock from daehiise as well. Like, I would be panicking about an FC at this point. And instead of the 3rd dock, I would have just made, like, 4 galleys and then done a round of fish, probably. But daehiise has now chased away the fish, and it looks like Cansky is just going to do the full circle, come all the way around. So we've made 2 fires, and now we're switching to galleys. And then we're making fires again. It seems like we're a little bit undecided what we want to do on water. We are going for the 3rd dock. Did you just see the blacksmith, though? Oh, and the fish are coming back now. Yeah, because, like, if we want to play galleys and get fletching, then we don't want to make any fires. Because we just want to get a mass of galleys as quickly as possible. Whereas, if we just want to make fires, then we don't need the blacksmith, we don't need the fletching, and we instead want the 3rd dock faster. So it definitely feels like Cansky just doesn't really have any experience playing water. And oh boy, there goes daehiise, instantly selling all the stone, buying some food, straight up to Castle Age. Look at that uptime. Holy balls, that is fast. I mean, it definitely helps when you're like this far ahead, but oh, if she's not paying attention, she's maybe going to lose her army advantage, like just straight up. We are still 3 docks versus 2 though, so as long as daehiise keeps making galleys and tries to keep this army alive, she should be fine. And like here we see the weakness of the fire galleys. Like they're just easily micro down. You keep just stepping back, firing a volley, stepping back, firing a volley, and they just die and they do so little damage if you're against somebody that's paying attention. And we see the 3rd dock now coming in for Cansky, but daehiise, with this killer Castle Age time, we still don't actually... Oh, we do actually have a mill now. It's got infinite amounts of sheep, we still got the berries to eat. So, like, we could be up to Castle Age pretty quickly if we build a market, sell our stone, and buy food as well. The army's going around this side, but daehiese's like, I don't care if you're over there. My fish are safe on this side. daehiise does lose the scout, though, so she knows the army's there. And maybe Cansky's thinking, hey, I'm completely, you know, I don't have a dock block. Maybe daehiise doesn't have, and I can go around as well. But no, we're gonna get stymied there. The edge of the map being a pain in the ass. Oh, Vil with no loom. Is she going to die? Oh, no, she's not. daehiise selling some more food? I don't know if she needed to sell that much food. Because she still needs like 500, 600 food to get all the upgrades that she wants. Right, like she's got War Galley, she can't afford Bodkin, and she also wants to get Bowsaw at some point. So I think she could have maybe just sold 100 food, not the 200. Like, again, that's a very, very minor complaint right there. daehiise might growing pretty well here. Galley's coming around the other side as well. And the fires are now just essentially completely useless at this point. And the galley mass is 13 to 9. There are war galleys now as well. daehiese's not microing that top side, but she's cleaning up the other side. We just have the 1 war galley over here, potentially able to deny the wood line a little bit. And we do have a very clean 3-0 there for daehiise. Like, I think other than this game, like I think this is kind of brutal domination from start to the end. But I think the first 2 games, I think, were very, very close. At least in like the early stages of the game, I think there was opportunities to go both ways. Cansky disappointing. Come on, Andy. No need to be that harsh. Andy, right? Nah, the row rage strategy, I think you're absolutely cooking, Cansky. I think if you'd sent the militia to the pond to deny the fishing ships, you would be insane. Like, you'd do so much damage, you'd completely screw with the early dock play. I had no idea she was on ponds. That's like the main reason why Georgians are good on this map, is because that they can dock the pond so quickly. So I honestly assumed that that's what the plan was. Like, I know that I'm against a civ that wants to dock, so I'm going to try to get in there and, you know, harass it early when they can't really do anything about it.